Yeah, yeah. Feeling like today gon' be a great day. Yeah. Feeling like I'm gonna get in my way. Yeah. Feeling like I've said all I need to say. Yeah. Feeling like today gon' be a great day.
What is going on, everybody? Zero Straw Hats here, or you're more than welcome just to call me Jordan, here today to talk about the new chapter, A Time Paradox Ghostwriter. This was a fun chapter. I hope all you guys enjoyed your 4th of July weekend, stayed safe, spent some time with some family, and yeah, let's just go ahead and get into this review. If at any point you find this enjoyable, go ahead and subscribe for more YouTube videos. Let's get into it. I want to say right off the bat that this chapter, although it was very important, felt super short, and I feel like if this ever gets into something like an anime, that this like chapter in the anime is gonna take like a minute or 2 minutes. It felt very, very short. So we start right where we left off last week with Teppei figuring out that Aino is gonna be dead in the future. We don't really know why, but in this chapter we find out that for some reason in the future, her getting an anime is gonna somehow cause her death. So what we need to know, so what was important is that we find out that Teppei needs to do better with his White Knight than Aino's version of her story, whatever she's going to make, or she's going to die. Why that's going to happen, we don't exactly know, but that's pretty much what's going to happen. I don't know if it has anything to do directly with the anime, or exactly why that's going to happen. We also get this little message like of a square root of 144, which is 12. And I was thinking at first maybe that means like it's gonna happen in 12 years, because it says 10 years, but maybe it could be like 12, like just to like, because it might not be exactly 10, or if the 12 meant like 12 months. Like we don't really know what that 12 means, or if that even is why they put that there. But I kind of am curious to see what was the point of adding that square root of 144. If someone caught that, let me know, because I don't think we really got an answer to that. Also seems that like the microwave or whoever is sending these messages in the future can hear Teppei talking, because he's responding to what he's saying with what's coming into the microwave. I'm still under the impression that the person sending these messages is Teppei himself in the future, but we're going to find that out soon. But it's just kind of weird to see that it seems like they do know it's him, so I don't know if they can actually hear him, or if it's just because Teppei knows himself, he knows what he's going to say, or if he remembers something that he's going to say. I don't really know, but that's kind of like what I got from it. We also know that he got the numbers for the lottery, so hopefully he's smart and he takes that money and he uses it to help himself financially, because he's still refusing to use any of the money he's making from White Knight to help himself. Which is really, like, again, this shows Teppei's character and why, even though this whole thing is about a plagiarized manga, that keeps it enjoyable is because, like I said already in other reviews, that he's genuinely feels bad for what he's doing, and his purpose is only to bring this manga into the world. But now it's getting so much deeper than that, because now we have to figure out how to save Aino. But obviously that's a lot easier said than done, because Aino's the one who made the story to begin with. So now he's working with the story that someone else created, that someone else had the, like, you know, all the foreshadowing in their mind already and what's going to happen next. And now he has to be kind of just like a fan like us, and like see what's happened in the story so far and figure out how that would happen. But what I think he's gonna, like, we see in the end, he's like, what would Aino do? What would Aino do? How would she do this story? But I think what he's gonna have to end up doing at some point, even though this was her White Knight, just the way he changed his art to his White Knight art, he's gonna have to do the same with the story. At some point he's gonna have to realize, okay, I can't do what she's gonna do. Let me do what I can do the best way. And I think it's really cool how we get a little bit of like context into the story about like some ghost in the story, and like who might know who that ghost is, and he's trying to figure out the foreshadowing inside the story. I don't really think we're gonna get too much about the White Knight story itself, because that's really not what's important to the series. What's important is Teppei and, you know, Aino's adventure and how they're going to save him. But I think it was cool just to get a little bit of information on the manga that this series is about. We see at the end of the chapter that we're getting this smiley face that's coming out the microwave, and like, you know, he actually gets hit with some of that iron sand or whatever it is that's actually inside the microwave. And I'm kind of wondering, was the microwave at the end of the story like broken? Like, I don't know if at this point anything else is going to come out of it, because it kind of seems like he gave him the, like, what's going to happen in the future. He gave him, you know, the money. Because, like, even then, like, he didn't exactly tell him how it was going to happen. Like, you think of, like, they're sending all this information, that they would send, like, why it actually happened instead of keeping him guessing. I wonder if they were short on time and they just had to get out what they could, what they thought would be the most useful, like the money and just the fact that it's going to happen and not exactly how it happens, or why they decided to do that. Obviously, like, it keeps us more entertained because we don't know what's going to happen. But like, if you really wanted to save him, save Aina in the future, why didn't the microwave or whoever it is that's setting what's happening in the future just say exactly how she died? Because we know she died in the future, and we know it has something to do with Teppei having to beat her story. But why exactly did that happen? We don't know. Last thing I want to talk about is just that message that we saw at the end of last chapter and the beginning of this chapter, where it says there that the source of death is not yet eliminated. So when they say that, like, do they mean like an actual person is not dead? Because like it says source, so it's not necessarily saying that she was murdered. So we don't know if it was a murder. It could have been murder. It could have been something else. It could have been depression. It could have been something crazy that we just don't know about. But all we know is that the source is not eliminated. But what could that source be? Is it an actual person? Is it something different than that? What is it going to be? And when are we going to find out? But my overall thoughts on this chapter is definitely, one, it felt a little short. Very good chapter. Very good information that we got thrown into the story. But it just felt super short and definitely leaving me wanting more. But at the same time, it's keeping me super interested to read next week's chapter. So altogether, I will say this is a good chapter. I wouldn't say it's an amazing chapter simply because, like I said, it just feels a little short to me. But for what we got, it was really good. And I'm really looking forward to next week on what's going to happen next. This series has continued to take drastic turns that most people probably didn't think was coming in the story. I mean, I thought this series was going to really just focus on manga. But now we see it's so much more than that. Every week I'm feeling more and more of these Steins Gate feels. So it actually makes me want to go back and read or watch some Steins Gate. But that's all I really got for today, guys. That's my review to Chapter 8 of Time Paradox Ghostwriter. I feel like a lot has happened in just 8 chapters, right? Like, it's only been 8 chapters, but so much has happened, and the story has progressed so much more than I thought. Like, a whole, year or two since he started has passed. Like, I definitely wasn't expecting all this. But anyways, that's my review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, if at any point you enjoy this, go ahead and subscribe for more content. Also, leave some comments on what you guys think is going to happen next. And what do you think that square root of 144 meant? Do you think that means 12 years in the future? What do you think it meant? And did you get anything else out of this chapter that I didn't get? Thank you for watching. Zero Star Hats here. See you next time.